Now we are going to study the Fraunhofer diffraction due to the single slit. See here in this figure showing how the slit and screen and source of the light are arranged in the single slit experiment. Here this is the AB is the slit and slit width is the E and Y is the screen where we observe the diffraction pattern and S is the source of the light and S is placed one side of the aperture at focal length of the convex lens L and the screen is placed at opposite side of the source placed at focal length of the convex lens L dash. When light falls on the slit and it diffracted and we can see the diffraction pattern on the screen Y. If all the rays or wave fronts are diffracted with theta is equal to 0 angle and they are constructively interfere at C, then we can see the maximum intensity diffraction pattern and we can also call it principal maxima. If diffracted wave fronts diffracted with angle theta and interfere constructively at P, then we can see the another diffraction pattern, we can also call secondary maxima. And here from this figure AB is the width of the slit, that is E, and a ray wave front diffracted with angle theta and reaching point P, another wave front diffracted with the same angle theta and reached P, but this two angle has some path difference, that is the delta. We have to find the path difference delta, which means this ray B P ray travel another additional distance of, that is also called path difference delta. We have to find that one. To find the path difference, we draw a normal AN on BP ray, that is the from triangle ABEN sin theta is equal to BEN by AB, that is equal to then BN is equal to, that is the path difference, AB sin theta. Here AB is equal to E, so you can write it E sin theta. Here BN is the path difference. Then corresponding phase difference delta is equal to 2 pi by lambda into E sin theta. Now we are going to calculate the intensity derivation. Assume the slit is divided into n small number of slits, each of phase difference is D and the total phase difference is written as ND, n number of slits into each phase difference is D, ND total phase difference is ND, that is equal to delta, that is equal to 2 pi by lambda E sin theta. Then here ND is equal to lambda, so you can write D is equal to lambda, that is also lambda and is equal to 2 pi by n lambda into E sin theta. This is the equation 2. And according to vector addition method, if the amplitude of each small part is A, then the resultant amplitude is given by, we can write like this, resultant amplitude R is equal to A sin ND by 2 by sin D by 2, that is equal to A sin, here we can replace the ND value with from equation 2 A sin pi E sin theta by lambda by sin pi E sin theta by n lambda. Let pi E sin theta by lambda is equal to alpha, you can take this value as a alpha, then we can write R is equal to A sin alpha by n, that is equal to A sin alpha by alpha. If alpha is small, then we can neglect it, that is equal to n A sin alpha by alpha, that is equal to A sin alpha by alpha. This is the equation 3. Here NA is equal to A. The intensity at point P is given by I is equal to A square sin square alpha by alpha square. This is the intensity at point P, that is I is equal to A square sin square alpha by alpha square. Now intensity distribution. Case 1, principal maximas. For sin alpha is equal to 0 and alpha for sin alpha intensity distribution. Case 1, principal maximas. For sin alpha naught is equal to 0 and alpha is equal to 0, principal maxima occurs at theta is equal to 0. Then pi e sin theta is equal to 0, which means sin theta is equal to 0 and theta is equal to 0. Thus, principal maxima occurs at center C. Case 2, minimum intensities. For minimum, sin alpha is equal to 0 and alpha naught is equal to 0. These are the conditions. And sin alpha is equal to 0, that is equal to sin alpha m pi, where m is equal to 1, 2, 3. And alpha is equal to m phi, stands to, if alpha is equal to m pi, then pi e sin theta by lambda is equal to m pi. Here pi and pi is cancelled, then e sin theta is equal to m lambda. From this one we can say minimum intensities are formed both sides of maximas. And case 3, secondary maximas. Weak maximas are formed between the minimas called secondary maximas. These are formed at the condition of differentiation of intensity as follows. We can differentiate this equation, then we will get the secondary maximas, that is equal to di by d alpha, that is equal to a square d by d alpha into sin alpha by alpha whole square, that is equal to a square into 2 sin alpha by alpha a cos alpha by alpha square. But maxima di by d alpha is equal to 0. Then we can write it a cos alpha minus sin alpha is equal to 0 and alpha is equal to tan alpha. To get alpha values from the intersection points of y is equal to alpha and y is equal to tan alpha, from the diagram alpha is equal to 0, pi by 2 plus or minus pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2 plus or minus pi by 2 and plus or minus 7 pi by 2 or etc. are the satisfied values. But alpha is equal to 0 is for the principal maxima. Thus, we can write it alpha is equal to plus or minus 2m plus 1 into pi by r, pi by 2 are the condition of secondary maximas. You can see the intensity distribution due to the Schlegel system. This is not wave, this is intensity distribution. At the 0 position, that is the principal maxima, and remaining are the secondary maximas and minimas.